Hiya, this is my second story time. If you haven't watched my first story time, which is all about my experience with psychosis, it's linked in the description. Now, this video is all about my experience with domestic abuse. So, I'll give you a chance to watch the first video and then you can sort of know what's going on, where I am at now. So, after being discharged from Highcroft, which is a mental institution, I met my then boyfriend at the time, who turned out to be an abusive person and an abusive partner to me. The whole of the relationship lasted about 4 years, and his abusive outbursts would be short-lived. There'd be about maybe 3 or 4 short episodes throughout the 4 years, alternating between, the honeymoon period where he was nice, said nice things and treated me really well, and we got on really well. So it was hard for me to leave because I always saw the good side of him. I always reverted back to, but he's like this, he isn't always like this, which is what all victims of abuse do. We all have the same traits, where we're often very naive and we see the good in people. We always, see the good in people, and we see the good side of them, even when they are being, complete and utter, not very nice people. Sorry, I've got to watch what I say on YouTube. You know what I mean? What's the worst person in the world? What can you think of? Rhymes with bunt. So, yeah, he was not a very nice person, and one of the worst instances I can think of is when we were out and about in public, and I thought I looked nice at the time. I was wearing a wig because I did used to wear wigs back in the day, and this is my real hair now, but I used to wear wigs, and I thought I looked nice, and we were out and about, and we bumped into his brother, and I smiled at his brother and I said hello. And anyway, my partner at the time didn't like the fact that I smiled at his brother and said hello. He thought I was flirting with him, and he basically took me down the alleyway and he asked me why I smiled at his brother and said hello, and I just said I was just being polite. I was just saying hello to his brother because I thought, that's human nature. You just smile and you say hello to people as a form of communication. Having to explain that to someone, the simplest thing, makes you think that person is really not right in the head at all. Anyway, he pulled off my wig, slapped me, and he slapped me with so much force that I fell to the ground, and I was obviously crying, and he told me to stop crying and get up or he'll do it again. And I had my hand to my face like this to stop him from hitting me because I was so scared of him. I was shielding myself and crying, and he told me to put my hands down, and I wouldn't. He said, put your hands down, so I put my hands down. He slapped me again on the other side. I fell to the ground again, and he was just kicking me in my head. He just wouldn't stop kicking me, and I was crying and crying. I was thinking, I don't deserve this. But everything was just happening so fast I couldn't think. And he said, get up, put your wig back on. And I must have looked a hot mess, because how can you put a wig on with no mirror and just walk around with your wig hanging off your head and blood on my forehead? We got on the bus in the end, and he said, he was just intimidating me, saying if I don't do what he says, just wait till we get back to the flat and he'll do worse. And anyway, people must have saw how big he was compared to me. People must have saw what he was doing to me on the bus, because when we got off the bus, the police were waiting for us. Someone must have been watching over me. God must have been watching. God must have sent an angel. They phoned the police. The police were waiting for us. They arrested him, took me to the police station. I filed a complaint against him. I pressed charges, and they filed it against him. My mum came to the station. She took me back to hers where I was safe. and I didn't hear from him for a while. Went back home, I felt safe, I felt cared for, I felt like I'd escaped. And then a few days later I got a call from him, crying, saying how he didn't know what he was doing, it's not him, he was sorry for what he did, and he's nothing without me, and that he needs me, and that he doesn't want to lose me, and that I'm all that he's got. Me being the naive person that I was at the time, listened to what he was saying, and obviously I must have had low self-esteem because I went back to him, thought he would change, which obviously these people, they might, I don't think they ever do. Deep down they've always got that side of them which is just waiting to come out. Went back to him, and obviously there were more instances after that, which shows me that, you know, I was just too trusting for my own good. But in saying that, every time he thought he'd won, God was always watching over me, because God picked me up, gave me the strength to be a survivor and to survive each instance that I went through. And I do believe that you meet no one you meet is by accident. Even the bad people in life that you meet, everyone has a lesson to teach you. Everyone has a purpose in your life, regardless if they're good or bad. You might not know the lesson at the time. It's only when you come out of it and you become stronger, you realise maybe this person was sent to me to show me how I'm not supposed to be treated. Maybe this person was sent to me because they've never had a good person in their life. They needed you to show them what a good woman is, because they've never had that. Maybe this person was sent to me because, you know, they're dealing with issues and you were the only light for them. So everyone has a purpose in your life. I'm not saying it gives people the right to abuse you, because it doesn't. No one has the right to abuse you. But when you think with a different mindset, you realise that you can turn any situation round into a positive if you don't give them the power to control your life anymore. At the end of the story, what happened was I had a baby girl with him. I had the ultimate decision at the end. I had to choose either between my baby girl and my family and never see him again, leave the abuser behind, or choose to be with him and never see my baby girl or my family again, and they'll cut me off, disown me. And to the people on the outside world who haven't been in my situation, they'll be like, yeah, it's easy, obviously, you just choose your daughter, which it is an easy situation now, that it is an easy answer now that I'm thinking within my right mind. But when you're a victim of abuse and that abuse is in your head and you're being controlled emotionally, physically, more emotionally, may I say, it is a hard decision to make, because you're constantly thinking, your self-esteem is so low, you're constantly thinking, what am I going to do without that person? What are they going to do without me? Will they be able to cope? I was the only thing they had. You're constantly thinking about them, and then you're constantly thinking, where am I going to be without them? That's all I know for the past 4 years. What am I going to do? But when it came down to it, God gave me the strength to see sense and see my daughter and my family are the most important things to me, more important than him. He's shown me nothing but disrespect in the way he's treated me. God gave me the strength to see through all of his, I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm saying, all of his rubbish. And God gave me the strength to choose my daughter and his family, and my family. But the only way I was able to move on from this chapter of my life was to cut all ties with him, change my number, delete all contact, delete his number, not have any contact with him. No matter how many times he tried to contact me, I had to make a clean break and cut all ties, because if I still was contacting him, or if he still had my number, he would able to weave his way into my life and talk me around like he always used to. So I had to cut all ties, I had to go cold turkey, and it took a lot of strength, and I believe that strength came from God. God gave me that strength. I couldn't do that on my own. someone who's been abused for 4 years have the strength to stand up on her own 2 feet and be free from the abuser who was controlling and manipulative for the past 4 years, brainwashing me. God gave me that strength, and with my family support, I've raised my daughter, and we've become a family unit, and we're really stronger than ever, because we've got rid of all the abuse. The abusive person, the abusive man has gone out of my life, and everything was leading till the day that I had my daughter in order for me to leave him, because she saved me. She saved my life. I was supposed to have my daughter. I know it sounds weird, but I think I was supposed to meet him. I was supposed to go through my life path. I was supposed to have my daughter, and we were supposed to separate. I was supposed to have my daughter with him, but we weren't supposed to be together because we were bad for each other. We brought out the worst in each other. We were not good for each other. We were both trying to find God. We couldn't find God with each other because we just weren't right for each other. But my baby girl was supposed to bless me enough for me to leave that situation. And till this day, I've never looked back. I've, succeeded so much in my life than more than I ever would have if I remained in that dead-end relationship. I've used my creativity and I've used all my experiences to write songs, to become a singer-songwriter and sing about my experiences. And the song in relation to this part of my life is called Without Your Love I Am Free. It's all about how I felt being in an abusive relationship and how I'm free now, and how anyone else in the same situation can be and feel the same way. They've just got to have a strong purpose, either a child, family member, friend, God, to be that strong purpose, to give you that strength to leave. Because you need to have that strength. You need to have something keeping you strong in order for you to leave that situation. And then you'll never look back. You don't need these people. They might have come into your life for a lesson, but they're certainly not a blessing. They might have come into your life. You might be learning from each other. You might have you learning on your journey, because you don't meet people by accident. I know that. You treat everyone like they're a character in a book. What have you learned from this person? What are they teaching you? Everyone has something to teach you. If you've got God in your life, when you realise that God is responsible for everything and is responsible for getting you out and protecting you in situations, you'll realise that there's more to life than an abusive relationship. And everything I've been through, I think I've survived each episode of my life because I'm supposed to be there to help people. I'm supposed to write my music. I'm supposed to sing my own songs. I'm supposed to tell my story, because I wouldn't have survived everything unless there wasn't a reason for me to survive. I've survived because I'm supposed to be a voice for people who haven't got a voice. I'm supposed to be there, and I believe that everything was leading me till this day. Now I'm making my voice known on YouTube. So yeah, everything in relation to this video, in relation to my music, is going to be linked in the description. And I hope that I can help someone out there who's maybe in a similar situation, who has come out the other side, or who can relate to me. And yeah, if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and there'll be plenty more story times. Also check out my music. Every single link that you need in relation to my first video and to my music links will all be linked in the description of this video. So yeah, thanks for listening if you stayed all the way till the end, and see you next time.